In the UK, an estimate of 540,000 people are either vegetarian or vegan, while the rest of the nation eat meat in their diet. According to the BBC, from 2016 to 2017 onwards, the amount of people switching to a meat-free or vegan diet has increased to 22%. According to Google, it now gets almost 3 times more interest in vegetarian and gluten-free searches. This documentary wants to question, is your diet a choice, or are you simply following trends? We've asked the public and experts to find out more. How long have you been vegetarian for?
So, full vegetarian is probably coming up to around 2 years, but I've been pescatarian. I was pescatarian for a year before I was full vegetarian, so it's kind of been 3 years when I've just not been eating any meat.
Okay, what are you vegetarian solely?
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Lacto-vegetarian.
okay,
Making sure that I have dairy.
alright, yeah, fair enough. So, how long have you been lacto-vegetarian for?
I've been lacto-vegetarian since 1999, I think it was. Because I'm a Sikh, we believe in being vegetarian, and we where Sikhs usually come from, which is Punjab in India. We're from a farming background, so dairy is a very important part of our diet and important part of it's just in most of our dishes anyway.
My name's Kieran Emery Fellows. I'm 22 years old, and my diet basically consists of a high protein and a high carb diet. So I started it about roughly a year and a half ago. I got that through YouTube and just the internet, just foods that I would like, because I know nuts are a very high protein source, but I don't personally like nuts, so I found foods that I liked, and just basically incorporate that into my diet.
I'm Kim, I'm 20 and I'm mostly plant-based, but I eat eggs. Okay, I stopped eating meat because I was at my auntie's farm in Kenya, and someone picked up a chicken that I was watching run around, cut his head off, and it was on my plate an hour later, and I haven't eaten meat since. It just put me off completely. I'm over the trauma side of it now, that doesn't bother me as much now, but I don't think I'll ever go back to eating meat just for the health benefits, mostly the health benefits as well. I just wouldn't go back to eating meat because my body's changed so much since I stopped eating meat. I feel healthier within myself.
I was very skinny when I was younger, so I just wanted to gain weight. My first goal was to reach 90 kg in body weight, so I reached that about, 13 months ago possibly. Then from then I just carried on with the weight, but just increased some of the food sources. So beginning with breakfast, I'll have roughly 5 eggs, porridge and a protein shake. Then we'll move to lunch and I'll have a chicken meal with carbs, which is either pasta, rice or potatoes. And then I'll have dinner, which will be a fish meal with carbs again, which is the same, rice, potatoes or pasta.
Since growing up, I've thought of more of the health benefits and how, when you digest meat, your actual organs can't take it, and it's pretty bad for you. So it is a bit of health reasons, but then I do take the religious and reasons into account, that there's no reason to actually eat meat. We've got so much vegetation on this planet. We can actually grow our own food and eat from the earth. So that's my main reason, my main thought. Even though it's cruelty to animals and stuff, my main thought is that it's just more efficient and more healthy.
I watched this documentary called What the Health, and it was just really kind of eye-opening. I was just a bit more conscious of what I was putting into my body. I wanted to understand a little bit more. I was very much raised as like a meat eating family. Like we'd have meat probably 3 to 4 times a week, definitely. So I just kind of thought, like, I've always lived my life a certain way. I was ready to kind of have a bit of a change. At first, I didn't think it was going to be something that I would do permanently, but it was just, I noticed, like, big changes, like, positive changes, so that's why I've kind of stuck to it.
I guess as I look at more research to do with, like, YouTube, because I still just kind of, like, look at, I don't know, bodybuilders or just fitness influencers, and I kind of look at their diet, and at the moment I'm pretty happy with it. I just got to kind of maintain the 4,000, but if my body weight starts to plateau, then I'll bump it up, so I'll try and go for like 4,500 calories maybe, so that's when I'll start changing the diet, but it won't really change that drastically. It'll maintain, it'll just increase in quantity.
How has your expenses changed in terms of buying food or when you go out for food?
I'd say it's good and bad, because when I go food shopping for like my food in my house, it's cheaper generally, because meat is like the most expensive thing that I used to buy. But when I try to just grab food on the go or eat out with my friends, it's a bit more difficult to find places that cater to. It's easier in London than in my hometown, but it's just sometimes a bit difficult. I lost loads of weight when I stopped eating meat. I feel better within myself. I have more energy. I used to be really ill like when I was younger as well. I think it was because of the dairy, because I think I'm lactose intolerant. But so I've just so many health benefits I've had. My skin's been better. My hair grows better. Just overall better health.
I definitely think that the media influences people's diet, because at the moment there's like this whole vegan trend, how it's like really cool to be vegan and to not have milk anymore. Like my personal beliefs, like dairy is very vital. I don't know if that's because it's a cultural background or something like that, because I've grown up on having a glass of milk a day, like a lot of dairy, but now like, oh, all of a sudden you're having dairy, it's so bad for you, like you're weird if you're having dairy or something like that. But it's definitely a trend, and I wouldn't be surprised if it like fades away.
I think definitely. I think especially at the moment, there's a massive vegetarian, vegan trend. I know when I became vegetarian, like 2 of my best friends also were becoming vegetarian at the time. I know, like, from me just speaking to someone, like, I was very much influenced by the media. Like I said, I watched What the Health. I then started kind of following those, like, kind of conspiracy Instagram pages. And I guess with me, when I had that passion, I would then tell people about it. So I would say, like, I was very much influenced by the media, and I'd say my opinion then influenced other people too.
For those who don't eat meat, what would be your advice to them? Or for those who do eat meat as well, what would your advice to them be as well?
For those that do eat meat, I'd advise just cutting down your meat intake. Not like going veggie or vegan, like eat what you want to eat, but for so many reasons it's good to try and cut down your meat intake, for your own health reasons, for the environmental reasons, because animal farming is one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gases. So one of the biggest reasons the planet's dying, basically. So I'd definitely say cut it down. And to people who already don't eat meat, I'd just say stick to it.
It's more natural to me to be vegetarian. So if I do eat meat, or if I do sort of steer away from it, it won't be like, it'll just be a bit weird to me. Like I'll have it. If I'll have it, I just won't feel right in a way. But I'm definitely, because it's so natural, I'm just going to be vegetarian.
I have definitely come into some problems as well with it. Like I do have an iron deficiency, so I had to take iron tablets for a while. I did have a bit of hair loss. So it's something that I don't think I'll ever go back to eating meat how I did. I would purely only go back to eating meat for the benefits of like that as protein, like maybe as well in terms of like when I'm older and when I have my own family as well. I don't think I'll probably raise my children vegetarian, but I don't think I'll be someone that kind of has meat every day for my children. I think I'd rather see meat as something kind of like 1 or 2 times a week if I was to go back to eat it.
And for those who are just starting out?
Those who are just starting out, it's a bit tricky in the beginning, but don't rely on like meat alternatives. Just be creative with other foods, because then you'll just get bored if you just eat like veggie burgers, veggie chicken. Yeah.
As we have seen, there are many different aspects of lifestyle and diet that the public partake in. Some may do it out of religion, some may do it by following trends, and some may do it due to past experiences. However, would you try to change your diet, or are you stuck in your ways? Which ultimately comes down to the question, is your diet a choice?